everybody, and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today, the first thing I want to do is to call out all of the trolls in the comments trying to say, "Meh, you're using the wrong terms when talking about the John Wick review. You were confusing clip and magazine together." And I was thinking to myself, at no point did I ever say that I was a gun expert. So I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry if I didn't say the correct terms. But seeing as that I don't own that, and I don't ever want to because it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. Again, I respect everyone's right to have one, but it's just not my thing. I don't really care if I get the terms right or wrong because it really has no bearing on the movie, seeing that the movie just does everything right. Anyway, moving on from John Wick 3, which is amazing. Please go see it. It is absolutely fantastic, no matter what any other YouTubers might say. Let's move on to this news right here, which is that Robert Pattinson apparently is the next Bruce Wayne, or is he? Because that, of course, has been the news that's been spreading like wildfire because Variety broke the story. But here's the thing. Deadline, which is another major news website, has now said that this has not been officially confirmed. As this headline says, Rob Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult atop shortlist for The Batman. Matt Reeves is getting close to naming his Batman, and while a report declared that Twilight Saga star Robert Pattinson had been set for The Batman, Deadline hears that the filmmaker and Warner Brothers haven't gotten to that place yet. Pattinson is on a short list, but so is Nicholas Hoult. This, to me, makes the most sense. It really just doesn't make sense that they would announce Robert Pattinson at this point, just because I don't really think he is the best person for the job. Do I think that he couldn't be Bruce Wayne? No, not necessarily. Oftentimes, we unfortunately will, judge these actors on one performance they do, and obviously, when you look to Robert Pattinson, all you can think of is Twilight, Die Hard, which is some of the worst movie making ever. But he's done other work, he's done other movies, and he's actually done a really good job in a lot of those other movies. And so I'm not going to question the talent that this guy has. I'm going to question whether or not he is going to fit into the Bruce Wayne character in a way that is going to be compelling for fans of the franchise. Nicholas Hoult seems to me to be the more versatile of the actors, but of course that is a preferential opinion. That is just me. That's just my own thoughts, because I've seen him play Beast in X-Men, and I think he's done a great job playing that role, and I've seen him play other roles too. Some people oftentimes forget that he was the one who was What a Day, What a Lovely Day from Mad Max Fury Road, which was an amazing performance. And so if I was going to talk about versatility, the look, and someone that I would put more trust and more faith in, it would probably be Nicholas Hoult, but it could obviously still be Rob Pattinson because they apparently are two on the short list. But it also begs the question, are there other names on this supposed shortlist? Are they just trying to get a buzz out there and say, all right, we're going to leak this information to Variety, let Variety spread the news like wildfire, and then see where things land? Or are they instead just trying to cover what a source is telling them? Really is going to be up in the air on that. But at least from this perspective, from my perspective, it seems that it has not been made official yet. It has not been made 100% official, and so therefore there is still a lot of question marks to be had. Now, for all I know, by the time this video goes live, they could have made a decision, but at this point, nothing's been confirmed. But what I think is most interesting about all of this, and is about this news in general, is just the reaction that this has been getting. Because people seem to forget, it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about Ben Affleck and Ben Affleck's Batman. And it's interesting how the progression goes. When Ben Affleck first played Batman and it was announced he was going to direct his own movie, people were very excited. And then when Zack Snyder kind of destroyed the Batman character with BVS and Justice League respectively, all of a sudden the direction became, oh, I don't really know about that, but hey, I think that he could still direct the hell out of a Batman movie. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe Batman will be better if he takes over. And then, of course, that got kicked down the road. It got announced he was no longer directing his own film. And now, of course, Ben Affleck is no longer there. And I think that's for the best, not because of the acting or anything, but because, honestly, I think the man needs a lot of personal help and assistance with the various abuses that he is going through. And so now we're left with this void. Who is going to be the next Batman? To be perfectly honest, I don't really think we need to announce the next Batman quite yet. I think that DC needs to have a reset. And I've been saying this for a while. I think that even though DC is trending towards the positive, Shazam was a great example of that. It was very good. Unfortunately, it didn't make too much at the box office, but still was profitable. Aquaman obviously did a lot of things very right, but even that one I feel was just lacking in a lot of areas. Again, objectively speaking, is still that kind of C+ type movie for me. And then Wonder Woman, of course, was fantastic, but then you look back to Justice League, which was supposed to set up all these characters, Man of Steel, BVS, all these movies that are really kind of, train wrecks, especially when you really break them down at a more objective level. And so I'm looking at this, and then I'm asking the question of, is Shazam now officially a part of the DC universe? Are they honestly going to go ahead with the worlds of DC, where you have these independent projects that are kind of connected because they're all part of DC, but they're not actually a part of the shared universe? You see how confusing that is, and they have not really made that abundantly clear. The fact that we have Wonder Woman 1984 coming out, You know, we have a sequel to that, and that is the same woman. It is the same Gal Gadot that was from Justice League. So that means that those worlds still exist. We then have this movie called The Suicide Squad, not just Suicide Squad, but The Suicide Squad. And it's asking us even more questions because it's not supposed to be a sequel, and it's kind of a reboot, but yet it has some of the same actors and actresses that are attached to the project too. So it really is just very confusing. And so when I'm looking at this information and I'm seeing all of the back and forth of people saying, "Oh no, not Twihard, not Twihard," and again, I understand the sentiment because obviously I think that if we get that version of Robert Pattinson, it's not going to be a good thing. But if we get a more crisp version of him, so maybe part of him from the other roles that he's done in his career, I think that it very well might be able to pull off that Bruce Wayne, though between the two, obviously Nicholas Hoult, I think, would be the better choice because I think he just has that much more charisma and also that much more ability to be able to pull off that kind of a demanding role and to do it well. And also, he's not nearly as divisive of a figure either. I mean, if you had to pick between the two, which one just blind test, not even knowing what they were in, if you were to be heard, oh, this one was in Twilight, this one was in X-Men, this one was in Twilight, this one was in Mad Max Fury Road, you would kind of look at that and say, I think I'm going to go with the guy who was in the action films like X-Men and the action films like Fury Road over the semi-action but mostly drama, crappy teen drama Twilight. And again, I'm attacking Twilight here, not Robert Pattinson. I think that Robert Pattinson is a fine actor. I think that for the roles that he chooses, especially now when he's chosen the more independent roles, I think that he's done a very good job. But as far as mainstream appeal goes, Nicholas Hoult to me just has that X factor to it that I think we'd be able to pull off a lot better. But guys, what are y'all's thoughts? Do you think that Rob Pattinson is going to be the next Batman? Again, am I completely wrong on this? Again, just based on here on Deadline's reporting, they are mentioning the fact that someone is claiming, that Variety is claiming that they've made a decision, but according to Deadline sources, they have not officially made a decision yet. And I know a lot of other articles are being picked up and a lot of them are talking about this, but really I honestly believe that they would be silly to make an announcement this early, especially with the DC universe still in this giant question mark. What are they going to do? Is the upcoming Joker film, which looks fantastic with Joaquin Phoenix, is that going to be officially a part of the canon? Is it going to show clearly that they can have these different stories that don't connect? And if that is the case, which one of these persons would be best for an independent Batman? Is Matt Reeves going to have his own universe that's never going to cross paths with Superman or Wonder Woman or any of the other Justice League members? I would much rather DC get all of that together, get their act together on the bigger picture items before trying to go into the smaller details, especially when it comes to casting the next Batman. And as we all know, Batman is a pretty big character to be casting, and you want to make sure that character is not only the right person for the job, but is also going to be able to continue to be the role into the future and be malleable to the point of, okay, this is what we're doing now. Can we take the character that's been established, and can the actor, change with whatever he needs to be changed with? And out of these two, obviously Nicholas Hoult, I think, is the better option. But what are y'all's thoughts? Let me know. Would you rather Rob Pattinson, Nicholas Hoult, or do you have another option? Obviously, I've heard a lot of the older Batman, the old man Batman theories out there, which I think are great. I've heard of the, the Ham example for. I think that he would be a fine choice. Even I myself have gone on record to say that, you know what? At the end of the day, if I could get me a Zac Efron, I wouldn't hate that. In any role for that matter, but that's just because I'm, Zephron is bomb. Zephron is bomb, Zephron is bae. And I've said that constantly for anything. Wolverine, Zac Efron. Batman, Zac Efron. But for the good news on Zac Efron's front, for those that don't know, it looks like he is in talks with, if not has been confirmed, to be the one playing Adam Warlock in the MCU. Yes, the Adam Warlock that should have been brought into Endgame instead of Captain Mabel Marvel, who is just worthless. But at least now we're getting that, it seems, in Guardians 3. But I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this and all of the news as going on in the current state of pop culture. And please, thank you very much for watching this video. Please smash the like button. Again, give me subscribe if you can. Share the video. YouTube is awful. YouTube's algorithm is awful. And I will continue to call YouTube out on their nonsense until they finally just settle down and say, this is how things are going to work and this is how things are going to stay. And I would appreciate that. Also, I do have 2 gifts that were sent to me, got received in the P.O. box, and they will be opened and revealed, and huge shout-outs will be given on the Saturday night stream that will be tomorrow on the main channel. Guys, thank you all so much for being amazing people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.